What are the marketing and advertising plans for the show in Singapore?
Okay. What we find is we do this show all over the world, and what's the wonderful thing is that we are talking to dog lovers. And when I first started this show many years, a few years ago, what we've been doing it for about 4 years, we started in Australia, and so we developed the marketing assets and the marketing plans for that. But what I've discovered, which is the really interesting thing, as we go all around the world, dog lovers are dog lovers. Doesn't matter where they are, they all have the same problems with their dogs, and they're all fans of Cesar's. So strategically, from a marketing perspective, we have some really key focuses when we go into a market. So if you think about that perspective, we then go into a market and say, right, how do we reach those audiences? And obviously the local broadcaster becomes a really important partner. And then from there we say, okay, pet stores, then we say dog parks, then we say social networking. Social networking is a massive area for us here because people who talk about their dogs post their photos on Facebook, want to talk about their dogs. Cesar has a really huge Facebook following as well. Tweeting, all of those social networking side probably drives a lot of the campaign. There's also an aspect of throughout the campaign. So if you think about the campaign would run about a 4-month period. In most cases, it's a bit shorter here in Singapore because of the way people buy their tickets. People buy their tickets more last minute here in Singapore, whereas in other markets, we start 4 months out because people buy them in advance. So if you think about that 4-month period, we have certain aspects throughout the course of it. So we launch, naturally, and then we think, right, how do we create some hype around that? How do we extend it? And grassroots becomes really important, which is your retail stores, your dog parks, etc.
So what are the campaigns that have been launched?
We have a fantastic relationship with National Geographic Channel, who are an important part of Cesar's partnerships, I suppose. So we've done a campaign on air with National Geographic Channel. We're doing a lot of social networking, and we're talking to dog owners through social networking. They're the core at the moment that we do here in Singapore because it's a short lead up to the shows. Okay.
So what about events? Are there more fringe events before the launch of the show?
Not really. Cesar will do normally, in some cases, he'll do a promo tour where he'll go into a country and do a week of media. We didn't need to do it here in Singapore because of the short period of time, but he'll do publicity. He'll start doing some publicity very soon, photos and things like that.
So are there any other future marketing efforts for the show, even after it's been launched?
Well, Cesar's television show, The Dog Whisperer, is an ongoing brand with National Geographic Channel. So National Geographic Channel is working closely with us in their campaigns. We will assist them with their campaigns for going forward, while Cesar's in the country, naturally. So they'll get access to him to do things that they can then use for later on within their own campaigns.
How about sponsors? Are there any brands that have already come on with?
Yeah, so strategically from a sponsorship point of view, Cesar is very particular with who he works with and who he doesn't work with. In the case of Singapore, we have the relationship with National Geographic Channel, which has been our key. Then we have our promoters on the ground, which are Chug Entertainment Asia and Base Entertainment, and the fabulous venue Marina Bay Sands, which is just fantastic. They're our key focus at this stage. We are talking to some brands at the moment, so watch the space.